Friends, Roger Sipe coming at you with what's turning out to be part 3 in the Keep Your Marbles series on how to keep your head on straight and not just survive, but maybe even thrive during one of the most turbulent and challenging periods that most of us have really ever seen as a nation and as a planet and as a community. It's currently Tuesday afternoon, March 24th. And the big thing of note that I'm seeing happening right now, there's a lot of things going on that are still, really up and down. Stock market's way down one day. Today it happens to, at least right now, way back up again on promises of stimulus. And who knows if that's going to last. Situations are still super fluid. But I'll tell you what happened here in Wisconsin is what's happening in a lot of different states where municipalities, and in some cases entire states, are now issuing these stay-at-home orders, where we're now being asked by the government to stay at home, don't go out as much, stay away from non-essential businesses. We're being quarantined, right? And it's extra easy to freak out. It's extra easy when when you decide to stay home, it's kind of nice, but when the government is saying, please stay at home. It just adds a layer of anxiety and fear for many people that makes it extra easy to lose your marbles. And so, right, I've had the privilege of talking with dozens and hundreds of our clients over the last week. And I'm really seeing both ends of the spectrum of freaked outedness. I've got a number of people that I've talked to over the last few days who are actually cool as a cucumber, and they're kind of just handling it in a really graceful and inspiring way. Many of them are actually thriving through this. And then listen, on the other end of that spectrum, talked to plenty of people. I actually talked to multiple people who were physically hyperventilating on the phone with me just because they were caught up in the grip of fear and pessimism and anxiety, and we had to help them see things just a little bit differently. And so what I'm noticing between sort of those two ends of the spectrum, and by the way, there's not a whole lot of middle ground right now. People are they're either on one end of the spectrum or the other. And what I'm seeing is the big difference. Pay attention to this, is what are people looking at? I would ask you the question, what are you looking at? What are you looking for in your life right now? Here's what I mean by this. So there's this principle that we've been teaching for years called what you see is what you look for. It basically means that the pictures that are going to live in your mind, which create your thoughts, your emotions, and thereby your results, the pictures that you see in your mind are going to be the pictures that you have conditioned your mind to look for. And that's all about your choices. It's all good not to get too scientific on you here, but most people find this helpful. There's this part of your brain that influences all of your behavior and really governs how you see the world. It's called the reticular activating system. Basically, it's the part of your brain that acts as a filter on what you notice versus what you don't notice. You've experienced this part of your brain if you've ever made the choice to buy a particular type of car, and then you started seeing that car all over the place. That's the reticular activating system doing its thing. And it's really, it's a big part of your fight or flight response. It governs, like I said, how you see the world. It's the filter through which you see things. And it's powerfully influenced by your choices. The good news in all of this is that your choices are the central thing that you have control over. What I talked about late last week is about controlling the controllables. And if you really get down to it, the only thing we have direct control over is our choices. We decide what we're going to look for. So this is my question to you. What are you looking for right now? What are you looking at? What are you looking for? Because that means what are you tuning your brain to focus on? Are you looking for the stuff to freak out about? Because listen, there's plenty of stuff to legitimately freak out about. Or are you looking for the opportunities? Man, if I could tell you one thing today, teach yourself to start looking for opportunity. Because if you're looking for the opportunities, that's what you're going to see bubbling up. and it'll start to crowd out some of the fear and some of the anxiety and some of the stuff that holds you back. Listen, experiencing some nervousness and anxiety and like, holy crap, I got to readjust my plans here, that's legit. I'm not saying that that's not real emotions. I'm just saying that what you're looking at is going to determine how you feel, how much energy you have, and the most helpful thing I'm finding to look at and ask myself about is, okay, what are the opportunities here? Now, if you're wondering, what am I talking about? If you're having a hard time seeing them, let me give you a couple of good examples. Number one, more likely than maybe you think that you're actually in a business. If you're watching this video, it's likely that there are straight up business opportunities that might be staring you right in the face. A lot of my clients, a lot of people that I've been talking with over the last couple of days are in the world of financial services and insurance, and I will tell you that if you're in one of those businesses or related businesses, you've actually got a great opportunity to gain market share. It's just a straight up business opportunity. And it's just a matter of you being able to overcome some fear and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I'll tell you another business opportunity that might be staring you right in the face. If you've been having trouble with hiring recently because there's no good candidates out there, boy, has that situation ever flipped around. I've got a handful of clients who their big struggle has been staffing up for months and years, and guess what? Now they've got like people beating down their door to come find work with them. So don't be totally surprised if there's just an honest to goodness, straight up business or professional opportunity that just requires you to not crawl into a hole to take advantage of. Even if you're in a non-essential business where you feel like you're kind of getting worked over, I will tell you that there are opportunities there, and here's what I would like for you to look for. As a producer and an achiever, I would want you to be looking, number one, for where can you get caught up on stuff that maybe you've been procrastinating for a long time. As I'm sitting here with a lot of time on my hands that I didn't have before, I'm finding out that, wow, I spent a ton of time just running around, just getting from one place to another, consumed a huge amount of my time and energy. And that's all freed up for me right now. And I'm noticing that there's a lot of learning that I've been wanting to do for years that I now have a golden opportunity to do. I've got projects that I've been meaning to complete for months or in some cases years that I now have a golden opportunity to do. Look for opportunities to get caught up. I would also tell you to look for some opportunities just to do stuff that you would never do. When you had to show up at the office or get from place to place, and have some fun with that. You may notice even in these videos, I'm experimenting with my style. Normally I like to go casual. Today I dressed it up a little bit. And don't be afraid to go to extremes. You know what? If you normally are business casual, hey, maybe it's a good time to just go full suit. See what you look like when you get fully decked out. You might notice that it makes a difference in how you communicate. Or you could go the opposite direction and go not suit, but birthday suit. I encourage the wearing of the birthday suit when working at home at least one time in your life. Although I would also say it's generally not a good idea if you have to put on a microphone. Okay, we're back wearing full clothes now. Although I actually wasn't totally kidding about the birthday suit thing. Point being, you have opportunities to not just get caught up and be productive in ways. You have some opportunities for enjoyment and experimentation that might really be helpful for you, and you've got a golden opportunity that you wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable with doing elsewhere. And then last but not least, I think this one is super important. Please be looking for opportunities to connect, not just with me, with other human beings, right? A big thing that we're hearing about so much is this idea of social distancing, which I understand that it's necessary. Social distancing is necessary to slow the spread of the coronavirus, which I'm in support of. The trouble with social distancing is that it too easily becomes social isolation, which is really, that's very bad for your brain. It's what depressed people do, is they isolate themselves. And when you start acting that way, you'll start feeling that way. Please, please, please look for opportunities to connect with human beings. Right, I totally get it that, right, it's not cool to go hug people or lick people. Hopefully you weren't doing that in the first place. But like, yeah, shaking hands and physical touch and that kind of closeness with people, that seems to be a little bit off limits right now. It's connection is just necessary for us to thrive. So when you have opportunities to connect with somebody, whether it's a phone call or an email or a text message or a handwritten letter or whatever it is, look for opportunities to connect with your clients, with your friends, with your family. And then, when you find an opportunity, here's the last thing and then I'll let you go here. When you find an opportunity to do any of these things, when you find, if there is a legit business opportunity for you out there, if there is an opportunity to get caught up, if there's an opportunity to have a little bit of fun that you couldn't have before, if there's an opportunity to connect with somebody, take the opportunity. Do it. Move forward. One of my clients, and a good friend of mine, said, he put it really well. He said, right, the people who are going to thrive the most in this are the ones who can move forward, who can master their fear and move forward anyways. The people who operate in a not fearful manner are the ones that are going to come out ahead. And I really believe that that's true. The fastest way to overcome fear is action. It's one of the first lessons I was ever taught about personal development, is that action cures fear. So look for the opportunities that are out there. There's opportunities to do good stuff. They are there. Look for them, and then when you find one, act upon it, even in a small way. You keep putting one foot in front of the other. It helps you keep your marbles, and when you combine those two things, keeping your marbles with forward movement, I promise you're going to make it through in the best manner that you possibly can. Hey, be in touch with me. Do connect with me. If you want to go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, great. We would love that. If you want to shoot me an email, tell me more stuff that you'd like to hear, great. Love that too. I just want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can and that you know we're here. You guys have an awesome day. I'm going to talk to you again in a couple.